Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Anusha. If you haven't liked my last videos, please do like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. This presentation is about the role of modulation technique and this evolution of wireless communication from 1G to 5G. Before knowing everything, how 1G to 5G is working, let us jump into introduction. Modulation technique plays a crucial role in wireless communication. It involves encoding information onto a carrier wave for transmission. Modulation techniques have evolved significantly from 1G to 5G. Modulation in 1G. 1G systems utilized analog modulation techniques like FM and AM, frequency modulation and amplitude modulation. Frequency modulation was commonly used for voice transmission, and amplitude modulation was used for broadcasting services. Modulation in 2G. 2G introduced digital modulation techniques like GSM and CDMA. Global System for Mobile Communication GSM used Gaussian minimum shift gain, GMSK modulation. Code division multiple access CDMA utilized the quadrature phase shift gain, QPSK modulation. How the digital modulation techniques worked in 2G. There is this diagram which shows us how this is formed. Modulation in 3G. 3G networks employed for advanced modulation techniques. Wideband code division multiple access WCDMA used quadrature amplitude modulation QAM techniques. QAM allowed higher data rates and increased spectral efficiency. Modulation in 4G. 4G networks introduced orthogonal frequency division multiplexing modulation. OFDM divided the spectrum into multiple subcarriers for simultaneous data transmission. Multiple input, multiple output MIMO technique further enhanced 4G modulation techniques. Modulation in 5G. 5G network utilize advanced modulation techniques for improved performance. 5G uses higher order QAM schemes like 256 QAM, 1024 QAM. These higher order QAM scams enable higher data rates and increased capacity. Impact of modulation on wireless communication. Modulation techniques directly impact the data rate and capacity of wireless communication system. We know everywhere in the modern technology we are all using the wireless communication, which is better for transmission without any disturbances. Advanced modulation techniques enables higher data rates and improved spectral efficiency. Role of modulation in spectrum efficiency. Modulation techniques play a crucial role in spectrum efficiency. Advanced modulation schemes allow for better utilization of available frequency spectrum. Efficient modulation techniques maximize the number of users and data capacity within the limited spectrum. Role of modulation in data rate. Modulation techniques determine the achievable data rate in wireless communication. Higher order modulation schemes allow for higher data rates. Advancements in modulation techniques have led to significant improvements in data rates from 1G to 5G. Modulation and channel condition. We have two types of modulation. One is analog and the other one is digital. In analog we have amplitude modulation, frequency modulation, phase modulation. In digital we have amplitude shift gain, frequency shift gain and phase shift gain. Modulation technique selection depends on the channel conditions. In wireless communication, channel conditions can vary due to factors like distance, interference and obstacles. Adaptive modulation technique use dynamically adjust based on channel conditions to optimize data transmission. Modulation and multi-user access. Modulation techniques enable multiple users to access the wireless network simultaneously. Advanced modulation schemes like OFDM and MIMO enable multi-user access with a minimal interference. Efficient modulation techniques enable efficient sharing of wireless spectrum among multiple users. Modulation and power efficiency. Modulation techniques impact power efficiency in wireless communication. Efficient modulation schemes consume less power for transmitting the same amount of data. Power efficient modulation techniques contribute to longer battery life for wireless devices. And wireless modulation trade-offs: want high rate, low power, robust to channel variations, low cost. Modulation and latency. Modulation techniques influence the latency of wireless communication systems. Advanced modulation techniques enable faster transmission and reception of data. Low latency modulation schemes are vital for applications like real time video streaming and online gaming. And more, thank you for watching my video, guys. Please do like,